Yo, what's going on, ladies and gents? My name is Arbuckle. Welcome back to another video. Today we are once again back on Call of Duty Warzone, and I wanted to share with you guys one of the best class setups for the FAL Assault Rifle. As most of you guys know, this is one of the more overpowered weapons in the game now due to the last update, and a lot more players are starting to use this. I've definitely noticed it in multiplayer, and I myself have been trying to run around with this thing in Warzone and pretty much take people out really fast. And I wanted to share with you guys a class setup that I've been using, and I'll share with you guys a few adjustments for those of you that like different types of play styles or different scopes, so that hopefully I'll be able to help as many of you out as possible. So if you guys take a look at the actual class that we're going to be using, the muzzle that we're going to be using is the monolithic suppressor. I think this is pretty much a given with every setup that you could possibly use. I think that, you can adjust some of the attachments based on your play style, but the monolithic suppressor is definitely something that you should always have on here in Warzone. It makes a huge difference. Obviously, trying to stay quiet, it's very important. So the monolithic suppressor muzzle, great way to go, giving us that nice boost to accuracy and range, as well as sound suppression as damage range as our pros. So again, that monolithic suppressor muzzle. The barrel that we're going to be using is the XRK Marksman. So we're playing for range with this FAL, obviously in Warzone. Most of our gunfights are going to be from medium to long range. So having that XRK Marksman is going to be the best way to go. Obviously, the other two barrels are meant for more aggressive play with the Ultralight and in the Para, obviously making us lose a lot more accuracy, range, and control. So we're sticking to the XRK Marksman, a really good barrel to run here with damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control as our pros. We're not going to be using a laser. I don't think it's necessary whatsoever on an FAL. Even if you're playing multiplayer, I think a laser on the FAL is pretty pointless, so we're leaving that off. For this specific class setup, we're not going to be using an optic, but at the end of the video, I'm going to share with you guys a couple of optics that you can use if that's the route that you want to go, and what attachment that you can exchange to throw that on. But for this specific setup right now, we're leaving the optic off. We're also not going to be using a stock. Now, the underbarrel that we're going to be using is the Commando foregrip because we're going to be playing a little bit more defensive and expecting most of our gunfights to be from medium to long range. The Commando foregrip is a great way to go, not only because we're getting the recoil stabilization with that nice boost to accuracy, but we don't really lose ADS speed with this. A lot of the underbarrels that people like to use, you end up losing more ADS speed, and we don't want to do that. We're obviously going to have pretty slow ADS speed anyways because we're playing for distance, but we don't want to hurt it, that much. So the Commando foregrip is a really great way to go here. The ammunition that we're going to be running is the 30-round mag. I think this is, again, one of those attachments that you absolutely need in Warzone. You always want to go for the highest round mag possible. You'll see that we lose ADS speed as well as a little bit of movement speed with this, which won't make a big deal or a big difference. It's definitely worth having on, especially if you miss a lot of shots. So the 30-round mag is what we're rocking with here. And last but not least, the rear grip that we're going to be using is rubberized grip tape. This is something that I've really enjoyed using in Warzone a lot recently because you get a really nice boost to accuracy, and it's something that you actually notice a huge difference with by running this thing. You'll notice that you're a lot more accurate from distance, and what's great about this is it's essentially a free pro because the only con here is aiming stability, and we're not going to really have idle sway here on in FAL unless you're running the no stock, which we're not going to have on. So the rubberized grip tape, definitely a really good way to go here. But those are the core attachments. This is a great class setup that I recommend using. If you try out this class and you don't feel comfortable with it because you don't have the optic, or maybe you just don't like iron sights for the FAL, or maybe you don't like iron sights in general, you can run an optic. One that I've been running obviously for a very long time is the Mini Reflex. It really doesn't matter which Mini Reflex you go for, but you can kind of pick and choose whichever one you feel more comfortable with. But something I've been using a lot more recently, and it changes based on your gun, but the PBX Holo 7 sight, if you guys take a look, any scope that looks like that, the kind of big holographic sight, those are really good ones. The Operator Reflex is another one that's really awesome, and I don't know why. I think these just really help me out from distance with obviously giving us that nice accuracy boost. But if you want, I would probably recommend going with the Operator Reflex. If you don't like that one, then try to stick to the Mini Reflexes. But if you want to throw an optic on, the one attachment that I would recommend getting rid of is the rear grip rubberized grip tape. I think it's definitely worth getting rid of the rear grip if you want to have an optic. If you're fine with the iron sights and you feel comfortable without needing an optic, then definitely have the rubberized grip tape on. But that's just an adjustment that you can make based on your play style. If you are going to play super aggressive with the FAL and you want good movement speed, you can get rid of the barrel, the XRK Marksman, and throw on the 13-inch OSW Para, and then you can throw on the no stock. Just keep in mind, guys, with the no stocks, with the ARs, it does add idle sway due to the last update, so you will be a little bit more inaccurate than you were before the update, but nonetheless, pretty good class setup for this FAL that hopefully you guys will be able to do really well with. If you guys have any questions or anything else to add about this specific class setup for the FAL or just the FAL in general, please make sure to leave a comment down below, and I'll be sure and try to help some of you guys out. But I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see all you guys in the next video.